Yo, what's going on, you guys? And welcome back to my channel, Action Creature. Did you guys like that intro? Uh, for me personally, I think it was pretty badass. My little brother made it for me because he was like, the younger people are more savvy with all the TikTok and all that stuff. So he was like, hey, you need an intro. And I was like, yeah, I agree. So he made me that intro. And personally, I really love it. I think it's so badass. Um, but another thing before we start this review, my last video I posted, I've gained like 100+ subscribers since that video, and I just want to thank everybody for subscribing. That's awesome. I'm happy to have another 100 subscribers. I just love sharing my opinions on figures that I'm personally passionate about. So today I got another one for you. Today we are looking at the Titanic Creations Gorgo. And I'm really excited to be looking at this figure because it's a figure that I really didn't think would ever be made. It's one of those really obscure movies that, like, you'll be begging your dad to watch Godzilla, but there's like no Godzilla movies on TV, and he stumbles upon this and he's like, here you go, next best thing, you got Gorgo. It's not Godzilla, but as a kid you'll settle for anything that kind of even looks like him. So we got Gorgo here today. Before we look into the figure though, let's take a look at the box real quick. So for the box, sorry, it's got a little bit of wrapping on it. For the box is actually pretty cool and creative. I like it. Let's zoom out a little bit. Oh, never mind, we can't. So we'll just angle up. So we have the fair that Gorgo was being kept at. That's really cool. If we zoom in real quick, it has like the Dorkin circus. It says Gorgo, and it's pretty cool. I like the box. Looking at the side, we have some rubble and stuff, and on the back we have a nice picture of Gorgo that I think is done by Matt Frank. And he's one of the popular Godzilla artists. And it's just really nice artwork of Gorgo. You love to see it. Top of the box, we have the Titanic Creations logo. And if you don't know who Titanic Creations is, I believe he's the guy that created the Titanic monster, like the kaiju that sunk the Titanic. It's like a kind of what if thing. And it's pretty cool. And I think he also has a articulated I think the kaiju's name is Titanus. I could be wrong on that. I'm sorry. But yeah, he has an articulated figure of that coming out soon. He posted a picture of it. There's no official reveal yet, but it's in the works. So I'm excited for that one too. I'll be picking that up. But yeah, so let's get right into the figure here. We'll just start off with the sculpt. This was sculpted by Dope Pope. And his sculpts are a little stylized, but nothing wrong with it. I mean, this is definitely Gorgo. It's just kind of like if you're looking for perfect screen accuracy, I don't know if this is it. I haven't watched Gorgo in a long time, but this is a really nice figure nonetheless. I mean, the sculpt is amazing, so you can't argue with that. It's definitely Gorgo. But yeah, so we'll start off at the head real quick. So he's got those nice big eyebrows, big nostrils. He's got like a I don't even know. He looks aquatic with those ears that he has. My only gripe with the head is how the teeth are all clustered together. But just looking at it, like taking a step back for a second, it's really not a big deal. It's just like a little personal a gripe I have, but hey, it still looks good. It'll look great on the shelf. Going in, looking at the chest here, it's really nice. It's got all the folds and stuff. Little bit of scuffage on mine, but that's okay. It's gonna happen with any figure. It could easily be covered up too. It's not a huge deal, and it's really small, so you can't really tell, especially from far away. Looking at the legs here, nicely textured. The feet, he's got the big honking feet, and with some really nice paint shading too. You can see there's like some slight pink going on with the feet there. Sorry, let me get my hands out of the way. Yeah. He's got the back claw too, and that one is shaded as well. They didn't skimp out on that. I like that. The back here has almost like a what would you call it? It's kind of like an ankylosaurus back, or maybe even a turtle. A nice armored back. It looks really cool. And I do like that it really has that nice tan underbelly like he has in the movie. And looking at the hands here as well, has a nice shading just like the toes on the claws. And yeah, overall it's a really nice looking figure. So up next we will get into the articulation. Bye bye. All right, so we're going to start off with the head here. So looking up, it will look up about that much. Going down, it will look down about that much. Tilting the head side to side is actually really nice. You got a nice tilt to the right there and a nice tilt to the left. You gotta love ball joints. That's what they're perfect for. Just having nice like little expressions like this. Like now he looks confused, whereas if it was like a hinge or something like that, you couldn't do those type of poses. And I noticed that I said he looks confused. This is actually a she, and in the movie this is the mom, and we do have an accessory of the baby here, but we will get to that later. So I'm sorry, I did not mean to misgender Gorgo. Do not come for me in the comments. Okay, so also the head can turn 360 pretty much. The neck can turn a little bit as well to kind of assist that and make it look more natural in the pose. So overall, the head and neck articulation is pretty good. I think I would actually, so if you kind of shift the neck out, the head can actually look up a little bit more, and shifting the neck in will probably help it look down a little bit more. So overall for that articulation there, I think it could have been improved a little bit more, but I'm not complaining. I'm happy with that. This is Gorgo after all. The suit isn't, the suit wasn't moving like crazy or anything. But I'm just being honest here. So for the mouth, it will open that wide, and that looks really good. And we'll take a look inside the mouth too. That's nice. And obviously it closes. And it's a nice hinge, has a little friction on it, so it's not going to be like drooping and falling or anything like that. So it's a good hinge. So now we will get onto the arms here. The shoulder will go out that much. It will go down that much to the side, and then it will rotate all the way around. And then for the elbows, it gets a 90-degree bend and will straighten out that much. And you get your bicep swivel out of the elbow, so you can bring the arm across the body a bit. And that will go all the way around as well. So for the wrist here, it is a ball hinge. And with ball hinges, obviously you can move it up and down. And then if you kind of pinch the joint and turn the hand to orient the ball, like, you know, up and down, you can get some up and down with the wrist as well. So you'll just pinch in and then turn it, and then it'll be back to normal. So you have that option, which is nice with ball hinges. For the torso, we can go forward that much, and then, holy shit, I just launched his body across the room. My bad. But it is just a ball joint, so you don't have to worry about breakage or anything like that. You can see I pushed my figures to the max. So it pretty much just goes straight up. There's not really leaning back, and then it'll lean down a little bit. So it's not the best ball joint ever, but it's good enough. I mean, you could also use the legs to get like a crunch in like that. So you could work around it. Leaning to side, just a little bit. Like I said, it could be improved, but it has some movement in there. Obviously we can rotate left and right, so that's good. And then for the legs, the hips will go up that much. They do kind of kick out to the side, as you can see what I'm saying, like it's jutting out, and they will go back that much, even more if you really want to push it. Probably go all the way around. Yep, so we get a 360 out of that. They do go out and in. For the knees here, they will straighten out that much, and they will bend in that much, so you get about a 90-degree bend out of the knees. For the feet, let's see which way this, I'll show you with this one. Gotta find where the hinge is. So right now I have the hinge set for like ankle pivot, so the pivot will go that much in and that much out, which is really nice. But then you have to do the same thing with the wrist and orient it. Sorry. You have to orient the joint for forward and backwards motion. I'm just bringing it around, pinching the leg, and now it's, I think, oriented. Yeah, all right, now it's oriented right. So for forward motion, it can go that much forward and that much down. Not a insane amount, but again, just you kind of have to think of what character this is. So even though it's not super hyper articulated, it's still good enough movement for the feet here, and you can finesse a lot too with you know, how the knees can jut out, like the, you know, they can go straight out or back, so you kind of get that movement anyway with the knee. And then you have a toe joint here. My Gorgo was sitting in my mailbox for a bit, so he's pretty warm. So when I first got him, the toes were a little bit loose, but as he's cooled off, they've tightened up. I keep saying he, as she's cooled off, they've tightened up. So you get some nice motion out of this toe joint here. More than any Monster Arts figure. Like, that's pretty good. And they actually sculpted the toe joint in a nice way as well, because a lot of times when you move the toe joint of figures, like, you'll get a lot of like pieces jutting out and it looks bad, but here it's nice and smooth and perfectly implemented, so I like that. So that's the body articulation there, and now we'll get on to the tail. So for the tail, going to the right, it will go that much. And I will say, as I have been posing the tail, I haven't had any of the tail joints pop out, so... Oh, never mind. Spoke too soon. Let me get that back in. Okay, like I was saying, I haven't had any pop out yet, but one popped out on camera, of course. But it has really nice range, and like I was saying earlier, I kind of push stuff to the max because it's ball joints, not worried about breakage. So going to the left, it'll go that much. Curling upwards, it will go that much, and then straightening out, it will straighten out really nicely too. So that is fantastic. No complaints with the tail. And then going all the way down as much as you can get it, it will go that much. So you could probably do a nice swimming pose, though. Like I said earlier, you got to make the head look up, jut it out, and yeah, you got a nice swimming pose here for Gorgo, and that looks pretty good as well. So that is Articulation. Overall, what I think about it, for someone's first articulated figure outing, I'm impressed with it. It's nice. There's no big glaring issues with the figure. It's poses nicely for Gorgo for what it is. And oops, I popped the tail out again. Poses nicely for Gorgo. Really have no complaints. Little things can be improved here and there, but for someone's first figure, he's an independent artist. He did a really good job, so A+ from me. I'm happy with that. So now let's go ahead and get on with the accessories. So for accessories here, we have the baby Gorgo, and it has all the same detailing that the mama has, the big mama. It even has like the shading on the toenails here, if you guys can see that. Same thing with the fingers, I believe. Yep. It has the nice red eyes. They even picked in the teeth there, so the teeth are painted too. It has a nice tan underbelly and nice shading on the back. It looks good. And this is a really tiny figure. I'll do comparisons later, but it's small. Like, here's my finger. So they got a lot of nice detail in there for such a small little figure. And I'm so used to Monster Arts not coming with anything. It's nice to get a freaking kaiju figure that actually has accessories. So it's greatly appreciated. It also comes with an extra head. The head that it comes with in the package is the glow-in-the-dark eyes head. So this is just the normal head with no glow-in-the-dark eyes or anything. It would have been nice to have like a water suit head. You know how that one looked a little bit different from the normal head? That could have been cool to have. And then maybe just if we reach those goals in time or whatever, have this head have the glow-in-the-dark eyes, and then the extra head be this water suit head. But I'm just nitpicking at this point. I'm for the price point of $100, you can't go wrong with this. I'm just spitballing ideas here. But yeah, so you have an extra head, so maybe if you broke your jaw or something, you have a backup just in case. Or you could throw this on like Godzilla and do like funny pictures or something. And then we also have this right here. I know this is from the movie, but I'm sorry, I just forget what the significance was of it in the movie. I think maybe they captured the baby Gorgo in this. I could be wrong. But it does have a little hole, so if you wanted to hang it on something, you can do that too. No paint on this, but this is a even smaller accessory, so that's okay. And then you get this clock tower here, which is actually really cool because part of it comes off and it's like a battle damaged tower, you know, like from when Gorgo breaks the tower down. So that can come off and it has a nice hole in there. And that sounds weird. I'm saying it has a nice hole, but you'll see why I'm saying that in a second. But yeah, really nice sculpting on this. Nice gold metallic paint. No sloppy paint on the the arms of the clock. It's really well done, actually. And then lastly, we have these little planes. They don't come attached to the wires here. You can take them off. One of them was easy to take off. Let's see. Okay, I'll just take this one off. You could take them off. And you have these nice little old-timey planes. And they even got the window painted. Oops. But yeah, they look really good. It's a really nice included accessory. I'm happy with that. They look cool. The only thing is, though, is this little stand that it comes with. Oh, let me put that back in. This little stand it comes with. It's honestly a real pain in the ass to stand all three of these planes on here at the same time without this like tipping over from the weight of the planes. So what I like to do is just pop the top of the tower off, and you can throw all three of these in here. And there we go. And then you got all the planes flying. Let me angle them down a little bit so you guys can see. But yeah, you got all the planes flying. Obviously, they're not in good directions right now, but you can have all the planes flying, and you can, you know, display it like this or something. And that's pretty cool. I'm happy with that. Because it's too light, and it keeps falling over, and it's just you can get it to stand, but it's just a real pain. It is a real pain. And I think the bottom of this might even be curved. I could be wrong, but it's not like a perfectly flat piece there. But yeah, so let's get into size comparisons. So for size comparisons here, we have the Hia 2019 Godzilla, and we have a McFarlane Batman. And Hia and McFarlane are about 7-inch scale. So Gorgo clocks in at about a little bit under 6 inches. Oh, looking at the camera, it looks like 5.5 inches. But I won't complain about that because I don't think Gorgo should be bigger than Godzilla anyway. So this looks really nice. And then, as you know, Monster Arts are smaller than Hia toys. So Monster Arts will probably be around right here, or maybe even closer to the same size as Gorgo. So it works with any Godzilla toy line, really. And I'm happy with that. The size is nice. It's a little bit bigger than I remembered, because I did meet Titanic Creations at G-Fest, and he actually let me play with the prototype. And I remember thinking it was small, but now that I have this one in hand, I think it's just the right size. It's okay. It's good. But yeah, so let's get into my final thoughts here. So, for my final thoughts, for the grand total of $100, I think this is a awesome piece, and I'm really happy with it. It kind of redefines what kaiju figures should be. They should have accessories, they should have buildings, and things they've destroyed in the movies that come with the figure. And I'm really happy that we have all these things here with this Gorgo. It's only Gorgo, but she got the nice love and treatment. She's got all the accessories, everything you can need with Gorgo, and it's a great little package. I'm very happy with it. We'll pay like $120 for a Monster Arts that comes with nothing. So you look at this, and it's from independent creator too, and you're getting all these accessories. I think that's a job well done, and I'm really happy with it. So yeah, guys, that's the review. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it ran a little bit longer than the rest, but had a lot to say about it. I enjoy the figure, so I'm going to talk about it. If you don't like it, then too bad. But yeah, guys, until the next one, have a good one. See ya.